Ladies and gentlemen, hello. What the heck is up? We're back? I don't know, we're streaming Pokemon Yellow. This is just plain Pokemon Yellow. That's what it is. There's no catch, there's no fancy twist. We're just playing Pokemon Yellow. It's very simple. So hello and welcome back. We are in Pewter. We're cutting ahead, okay? You know how the starter selection works in this game. You get Pikachu. You know the early game, and I said let's just cut that, okay? So we have a Pikachu, obviously, because this is Pokemon Yellow. Oh, look at that sprite. That's not a bad sprite, right? We got a Nidoran. That's not bad. You know, that's a good Pokemon. And we also caught ourselves a Mankey because it's kind of a neat encounter, a niche encounter for Gen 1. It's only in red that you can catch a Mankey here. Or, sorry, it's only in yellow that you can catch the Mankey because your starter's Pikachu, so, you know. Anyway, rather than, walk you through that intro, we're just ready to take on the first gym, and then we're going to get into it. So starting with that hot, spicy content. What's up, everybody? We do have a gym, to warm up. We do have someone to face. I think this person, they don't have a rock type, do they? They start with a Sandshrew, which is odd. Always found that kind of weird, but I guess they did that because there was no pure rock types in Gen 1. Yeah, how's it going? What's good, Legacy League? Welcome to the game. So, it's a Diglett in this game, which is... I have a feeling this Diglett only knows Scratch. But yeah, I'm very unfamiliar with Yellow. And we just did a stream that basically we just went through the entire Wikipedia or Bulbapedia, just looking at all the routes and seeing how Yellow could potentially see some fixes. Now, I just want to get a feel for Pokemon Yellow because I haven't really played much of it. So I was like, I feel like I need to familiarize myself with this game more if we're gonna do stuff with it, Oh, thank you, Benjamin. Says my hair looks great. Appreciate that. We'll swap over to Mankey, I suppose. Shoulder. Hey, what's up, Shoulder Shot? Just finished my first law school exam. Holy smokes! Wow, familiar face. Good to see you in here. That's also very exciting. Hello, Urian Sechi. It's too windy to go out and get candy canes, says Valentine. I can't really disagree with that. I've played through this game more times than I'd like to admit. Yeah, Yellow is something I haven't played a lot of, and there's not a lot of ROM hacks for Yellow, right? There are red ROM hacks. As you go further in the gens, like Emerald has been very ROMified, and we are going to do it in Emerald Legacy for sure. That's happening. It's already in the works. It's gonna take some time. But the thought was if we're gonna I wanted to do a trio of legacies, pretty quickly into Crystal. I realized how cool it would be to do 2 more of these for Gen 1 and 3 as well, and I felt like it made most sense to do Yellow. Now, technically, people have said this, and I will note that obviously, well, maybe it's not that obvious. Red and blue for the Western audience is kind of it's like the crystal of this generation, and yellow is kind of like another. But yellow just hasn't seen a lot of exposure, so I just want to get familiar with the game, and yeah. Yellow has great sprites. That is the thing I think to start is something worth noting. So anyway, we're just hopping into this gym fight. Okay, so we've got a Mankey, a Nidoran, and a Stuart. These two have fighting moves, which I'm very curious to see how this goes because it's not this is not so easy as just picking a water or a grass starter and ripping it, because they actually have both these Pokemon have pretty high defense. So I'm curious. Also, they kind of toned down Brock. Brock's original sprite is shirtless, which is weird. It didn't feel super appropriate. But this is more like the anime this game is kind of following the anime. And I don't want to do a game. I don't want to make a Yellow that totally follows the anime. Karate Chop, yeah, that's a weird little feature. Karate Chop is a normal move in this game. Gust is also normal. Oh, this Onyx has Bind. This is actually a really crazy move in Gen 1. Like, this is something that we've been already talking about, is like, how do you find balance for this move? Because it's so good. Like, you hit a bind and it's just free damage while the enemy can't really attack back. It's kind of crazy. It's broken, but it's part of Gen 1, so it's not like just remove it. Like, how we would look at it is like, don't just remove that feature, but rather how do you like implement that feature in a way that isn't broken? Does that make sense? So like, okay, here's an example. Fire Blast is not a broken move, it's a strong move. And being a strong move, it's relegated to the end game. So rather than just remove the concept of Gen 1 wrap, because it's kind of a neat idea, how do you fit it into Gen 1 in a better way? That's kind of what I think. How do you implement it in a way that doesn't break the game, and instead, like, you know, just is balanced for the place that it's at. Like, it's a good move, but like, Fire Blast is a good move, right? You just don't give a level 5 Charmander Fire Blast. I don't know. You know, that's what I've been thinking about. Benny Rush says give it 50% accuracy. The other thing is you can leave it pretty much the same. Maybe mess with the accuracy a little bit, because it is 85%. And maybe you, I don't know, like maybe you find some, like you make it a little bit of a later game move, you know? Are we playing Yellow for Legacy? So I think the plan is Yellow first. I'm playing this today to kind of like make sure what I want to do. I've been playing a lot of Emerald, and I've been posting a lot of Emerald content. And I know more people want an Emerald Legacy. Oh, we are on to the next route. This is a fun route. I always enjoyed this in the base games. I'm gonna just assume that this girl has a Pidgey. Oh, she does. I called it. Basically, I think Gen 1 is going to take a lot less time than Gen 3. Even though, like, the thing is, tell anyone, like, everyone is like, oh, like, Emerald doesn't need it. Like, Emerald's fine as it is. It's pretty polished. And when we went into the Emerald, it's not that polished. I personally don't think Emerald holds up as good as people think. I think a Crystal Legacy has a lot to offer, actually. There are some ROM hacks that have done similar things to Legacy, but there's nothing that has been exactly Legacy. So I think Emerald Legacy actually does have a lot to offer. Someone says a Pidgey that looks like a Pidgey. That's the other thing I like about this particular game is the sprites of Yellow are actually pretty good. Yeah, Emerald is very solid. Like it's the first what I would call masterpiece game of Pokemon, and I'm a Gen 2 fanboy. Emerald is a masterpiece, but you start looking into the weeds and you're like, oh, like I don't know. Just for example, like I think the Sceptile line is a pretty like easy place to start. Like, you get a grass Pokemon, and its only grass move that it learns is, for the first 29 levels, is Absorb. And it's like, okay, that's tough, you know? Oh, what does Blaziken learn? Oh, Blaze Kick. It's worse than Flamethrower, you know? Things like that. Like, you know, what's Swampert's signature move? Like, Muddy Water, it's worse than Surf, you know? Blaziken's best fighting move, Sky Uppercut. Not that good. Just, like, I personally, I don't know about you guys, whenever I use Blaziken, I'd always teach it 75 base power Brick Break over the 90, but with a chance to miss Sky Uppercut that doesn't come to like level 59. So there's things you quickly realize about Emerald, that it's it's kind of lacking. What's up, Lucca? But yeah, on that note though, yellow is a lot more obvious. The challenge I'm realizing with yellow is just like this is not my original idea, but everyone says it, is that the Gen 1 games are held together with glue and tape. And it's like, even just going through the code, like the last few days, I've been like kind of diving into it and playing with movesets and stuff, like getting a feel for it, you know? It is a mess, man. Like just for an example, you're coding and you have the list of all the moves that every Pokemon learns. So it's like, in Gen 2, for example, in Crystal, it's like Bulbasaur and then Ivysaur, and then, you know, you have the list of all the Pokemon. In Gen 1, it's like in no particular order. So you're like, okay, I want to fix Bulbasaur's learn set. But if you're going to fix Bulbasaur's, you got to do Ivysaur and Venusaur. And then you're like, okay, but you're like moving around like a 4,000 line document trying to find each Pokemon in the same family to like find cohesive. It's crazy, man. Also, I gotta say, early Mankey is sick. Like, how many games gives you a fighting type this early? I feel like usually you get a fighting type after the giant string of like all the normal types. But getting like an early Mankey, that's a cool feature. That's a very cool feature. Yeah, Gen 1 is so unbalanced, but the neat thing about it, like looking at it, is you have such little to work with that I think we can get a very, very refined yellow. Because it's like every like move or every type, like every type's set of moves only has a few things to work with, you know, like outside of a few types, like let's just take the elementals for example. So fire type has Ember, Flamethrower, Fire Blast, Fire Punch, and Fire Spin. Fire Spin is kind of a niche move, so you've got 4 damaging fire moves to work with. And as annoying as that is, it's also very simple, you know? Anything that has a hand, okay, is gonna go Ember to start. In the mid-20s, you teach it Fire Punch, you know? So like we're gonna probably would give Charmeleon Fire Punch, right? Later, Fire Blast or Flamethrower. It is a little boring, but it's very simple, you know? And in that way, it's kind of neat. So, should I zoom this in? I feel like it's a little hard to read, maybe. How's that? If that's better, let me know. What's up, Carlos? Be listening in the background while I work. Oh, no worries. Glad to see you here. There's no Fire Punch in Gen 1. That is where you're wrong. I thought the exact same thing. I think that's so interesting that I'm not the only one. I had no idea the punches were in Gen 1. They're exclusive to Hitmonchan and the, are they Kaijus? Is that the term? Magmar, Jinx, and Electabuzz. The humanoid elementals. We're going to go back and heal. You know what I'm talking about? You know those 3? They all learn their respective punch, and then Hitmonchan gets all 3. Now, while we're talking about Hitmonchan, I think that's a really, that's a Pokemon I'm excited to dabble in. Because with Hitmonchan, it's like, do you give Hitmonchan good special, take away its attack, and make Hitmonchan the special attacking fighter? And then do you just let Hitmonlee be the physical attacking fighter? Like, that's an interesting question, you know? So I don't know. There's a lot. Like I honestly, like Gen 1 kind of fires me up because it's so broken. Are you going to be able to split the special? I would never do that. Listen, like and this is just me needing to repeat this over and over. People have heard this a million times. People still don't understand it. The Legacy series is meant to keep the games feeling how they originally were. It's to keep the features that made them unique. So I think a lot of people are like, oh, you're just gonna like fix all the stupid stuff and modernize it. And it's like those ROM hacks have been done a million times. Like there's so many great ROM hacks. Like the example I would say for Crystal is like a lot of people are like, oh, well, like why aren't you gonna like make it like the classic thing with Crystal is like, are you gonna add the Pokemon that get evolutions in a later gen, so like Murkrow and Ambipom, etc. And are you gonna add a physical special split? And it's like that's been done, you know. And I think you gotta like maybe I'm not doing a good job of letting people know of more ROM hacks out there, but it's like that exists, you know. And that's exactly against like the core vision of the Legacy series. The Legacy series is like what was unique to that generation, keep that the same. So all the glitches, like, I shouldn't say all the glitches, but a lot of the neat interactions of like the way criticals and speed work. I'm gonna leave that the way it is because that's Gen 1, you know? But how can we make it better without removing that feel, right? Like, one of the things I'm most excited about for this generation is the fact that there's a single special stat. I'm like, that is crazy. Not only is there no physical special split in this game, there is a single special stat. So when working with base stats, oh, that guy doesn't move. It's just, oh, you know what? I would catch a Sparrow. That's kind of a fun Pokemon to run, maybe. I like Sparrow. Also, the leveling, I gotta say, is really good in this game. Like, if this was Pokemon Crystal, this thing would be like level 4. Yeah, praying for Emerald Legacy. It's happening. It's happening. Absolutely happening. People are asking about the 1 in 256 miss. Absolutely staying in. Because that's part of the Gen 1 experience. I love that. Like, that is like, even moves that always hit, there's just that small chance you might miss. And that is interesting to me. Like, truly, I think that's like an interesting mechanic to have to play with. So that kind of stuff, you know, like I think a good example of a bug we might fix would be like focus energy, because focus energy lowers, like that's not really an interesting interaction. No one's using focus energy, so it doesn't really matter, but that's an example maybe. The XP bar, that's a tricky one. I don't know if that is doable. If I'm being honest, if someone has already done that, we would probably use their tutorial on how to do it, but we would use their code, but I don't think that's something of a priority. Yeah, I think that's something a lot of people don't realize too, is like, I think people maybe just like aren't that familiar with ROM hacks, because like, to me, I think some people have been a little critical of this about me, and I guess this was just a blind spot for my understanding. Is like a lot of the stuff you saw in Crystal Legacy was not stuff. It was not our stuff. Like everyone was like, oh my god, like you have. So in Crystal Legacy, the sprites are like, you have like unique sprites for every single Pokemon, and that's not originally in Crystal. We did not do that. Someone else did that, and I hate that I can't remember their name off the top of my head. Like obviously, like we've credited them and they're in our, you know, but like that's not us. And I think a lot of people don't understand that like ROM hacking is like a community of people that contribute, and they're like, hey, I did this for my ROM hack. Here's the code in case you want to do it and put it in yours. And so Crystal Legacy is like really like the work of tons of people before, and then just my particular vision on top of it. I think a lot of people didn't realize that. You know, even like the level split with the 3 gym leaders, Jasmine, Price, and Chuck, like that was not a unique idea. I guess we did implement that ourselves, but that was, you know, inspired by Crystal Clear, which a lot of people don't like to talk about Crystal Clear. I don't know, but you know, regardless, that was where I got the idea. So I think a lot of people don't understand like how many ROM hackers are out there, and I didn't understand that people didn't understand that. So I kind of want to try to be better to make it clear, like, hey, this like is a whole thing, you know, like the disassembly, like people have took all the code and made it basically into like documents that are very easily editable. And that's like, that alone, it's called the crystal disassembly, the yellow disassembly, like that's not like that. I didn't do that, you know? So, you know, yeah, crystal clear doesn't feel right. I think it's a really cool idea. I mean, I don't know. There's like some controversy with the person who made it. But just speaking to the ROM hack itself, like it's a cool idea. You know, people also are so mad at me because I'm like, Crystal Legacy is the perfect ROM hack. And it's like, well, of course I'm gonna, like, yeah, it's my ROM hack. Like, I'm gonna gas my own ROM hack up. Am I gonna say, if I'm like, hey, I made a ROM hack and it's okay, why would I do that? Do I think that Crystal Legacy is the best ROM hack? I definitely don't. I don't know what the best ROM hack is, but of course I'm gonna gas my own ROM hack up. I want you to play it, you know? Like, hey, this is sick, do it, you know? Like, put thousands of hours into this. Am I gonna say it's okay? You know? So I don't know. You know, but it is what it is, you know? At the end of the day, like, the community, like, it's sick that I'm grateful I have the resources to, like, do this stuff, because I don't know a lot about this, and I just looked it up, and I was like, whoa, it's a thing. Sounds cool, you know? I'm playing on MGBA. This guy's got the Voltorb. Gen 1 is a weird place, man. You wouldn't see a Voltorb this early in Gen 2. Yeah, here's what, in my personal opinion, when it comes to like what's the best, what's better, it's just a stupid idea, really, because it's just subjective, and you know, like the criteria for which you judge it is the thing that's gonna determine what you think the best is. Like, if you want something that's the most true to the original generation, then yeah, you're probably going to think Crystal Legacy is awesome. But if you're looking for something that's super original and unique, you're probably going to say Crystal Clear is awesome. And if you want something that's going to modernize the game, you're going to say something like Polished is awesome. So, you know. Man, Clefairy's a deep... Dude, I got to say, like, there are some neat additions in this game, but, like, Clefairy could be cool. And we'll probably make it cool, but it's not very good as is. I'm just going to put a Repel on. I don't think I want anything in here. I might pick up a Paris, but... Oh, maybe I don't have Repels. Well, you're stuck. Are there shinies? No, there's no shinies in Gen 1. That's a Gen 2 feature. We're in Mount Moon right now. We're vibing in Mount Moon. Is this a Moonstone or is this Punch? Yeah, it's Mega Punch. I think, man, in some ways, I gotta say Gen 1 did it better than Gen 2. Because Gen 1, like... Here's Mega Punch. Early in the game, it's kind of a cool move because it's like not super accurate. So it's rather than like, here's like a really balanced move, it's like, here's a really strong move, but it misses a lot. You know, it's like 85% accuracy, 80 base power. 80 base power this early in the game is really good, but there's the trade-off that it's pretty inaccurate. It's like, I don't know, that to me is just like a lot more interesting than what Crystal did. So yeah, anyway, at the end of the day, I just think like the entire concept of what's the best ROM hack is stupid, because it's entirely based off of what you are ranking it on. So of course I'm gonna say my ROM hack is awesome in my titles because I want you to play my ROM hack. And you know, if you're mad at me about that, I guess that's just the reality of being a YouTuber. You know, I'm not new to this. You know, I don't know why I used Quick Attack there. That was stupid. Yeah. We'll get lucky though. Yeah, hate moves under 90% accuracy. Agreed. I'm like a 95% accuracy or above mostly, but Mega Punch is a cool idea because it's like, it's almost like a last resort. But like, I think a move like Mega Punch adds a lot of variety to the early game, because you're like, okay, I'm gonna die, I gotta take this out, let's go for the risky option, it's all we have. Or, you know, it's the start of a fight and you're like, let's just get some big damage on the board, take the risk, we can afford it right now. I think it just adds a lot more than like, here's the really basic, like, you know, you have tackle, that's like a 35, all right, we'll give you swift, that's 60. Like, it adds a bit, in my opinion. I don't know if I want to run Nidoran. Nidoran is so overused in Gen 1. Wow, big crit. What Gen 1 Pokemon do you think need the most changes to make it viable? That's a great question. I'll ask that back to the chat. What do you guys think? But for me, what Pokemon need to be viable or need help? I would say the Ghastly line come to mind. I've been looking at them today, actually. Oh, Porygon, Kangaskhan, Lickitung, yeah. Yeah, there's a few for sure. Porygon just needs a stat buff. Well, it probably some moves too, but I think if you give if we did the same treatment we did for the likes of Murkrow to Porygon, which is, I guess, like Seadra for that matter. So Gen 1 Pokemon that got new evolutions in Gen 2, Porygon and Seadra, I think, are the two. Like not ones that got like branching evolutions like Slowking and Politoed, but just like strictly better evolutions. I guess Onix. Actually, yeah, I guess Onix too. Scyther, not so much. Scyther's good. Scyther just needs accessibility and being on an earlier route. Actually, Arrow made a great suggestion to put Scyther on the route next to where you fight Surge. I think it's Route 7. It's a very grassy area. Like, I don't know. We'll see the route today, but you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, Scyther belongs there. Like, yeah. I think in general, Gen 1 did a really bad job of putting all the interesting Pokemon late enough that it's not worth catching them to train them and use them. It's like this weird thing where a lot of the cool Gen 1 Pokemon don't appear till like Gym 5, like it's a lot of Safari Zone. Really, it's Safari Zone. It's the mansion in Cinnabar Island. It's Seafoam Caves. Like, there's a lot of cool Pokemon those three areas, and it's just too late that it's like it's not worth using them. You're already gonna have a decently constructed team, so it's kind of annoying. Also, I just have heals. Because, like, here, I mean, listen, you know this, but I could run away, like, run back to the Pokemon Center, millions of encounters, run back in, and we'd be fine. So I just gave myself a bunch of heals just because it saves time. Ultimately, I try not to use items in battles, so. I'm not playing under any strict rules here today. I'm just getting a feel for yellow. Lickitung is only in Cerulean Cave. I feel like you should put Lickitung early in the game, honestly. Like, maybe above Misty's Town. Cerulean. Scyther's Route 14 to 15, and let's go. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Pikachu. You little niblet. Fire Red, Johto Kanto iteration of yellow. No, I would just say... Aw, I hate how everyone's so sad about Pikachu dying because of the sound effect. Aw, poor little buddy. The Pikachu voice acting is interesting. Yeah, Lickitung after Nugget Bridge. Like, if it had some better stats, that wouldn't be a bad time for it. I'm all like, oh, this is a flying type. I don't want to send my fighting type in. And it's like, dude, this is Gen 1. It doesn't have stab moves. Nothing has stab moves. Don't worry. Stab moves don't exist. Or sorry, not stab moves. super effective moves, but super effective stab moves. Farfetch needs a bit of a buff. I think Pidgeot is probably just going to get a similar treatment. Oh, the thing is, in this game, there's just no good moves. Like, we'll have to give Pidgeot a decent normal move, and then Sky Attack. Pikachu, no! Oh, that's really sad. Oh, man. See, there is like some charm to yellow. I see it. I see the love for yellow. I have a copy of yellow. Like, don't get me wrong. I own yellow. I've played yellow many times. It's just in the closet. Not that door, but it's in the closet behind me, which is just out of shot. It's just out of shot that way. But there's a closet over there, and it has all my Pokemon cartridges. Man, there's a item somewhere. Oh my God, this Zubat is just cracked. Oh. Also, why did I name it Stuart? I always see Stu in the STU, in the QRSTUV, you know, and I just see Stu, and I'm like, let's name it Stu, and then I was like, oh, let's name it Stuart. Ah, this is definitely it. They really make finding those items quite satisfying. I feel like this guy has a Magnemite. Original carts are overpriced now. Yeah, and the problem with original carts is all their batteries are dead, so you can't even save in a lot of cases. I did a video like 6 months ago where I bought a bunch of bootleg ones, and they like broke my Game Boy. So they are all slightly too big. So what they did is they expanded like the needles that like connect to the cartridge, and now when I put in actual legitimate cartridges, they don't run. So be careful with those fake cartridges out there, because like literally broke my like original Game Boy SP that I've had since I was like 8. That video, yeah, kind of sad about that. I'm gonna hold on to that Game Boy, that SP forever. And I guess the thing is, the bootleg cartridges work in it, but it expanded it so that now legitimate cartridges don't. So it's not that it doesn't work, it's just that only bootleg copies of old Pokemon games will work. That's funny, Chris. Just been standing here. I actually think, like I said, in a lot of ways, it's weird how Gen 2, like, I guess they tried to make the game easier, but they kind of, like, just made a lot of mistakes. Like, the team compositions I'm seeing are much better than Crystal. You know, I'm like, yeah, 3 unique Pokemon. You're showing a lot of unique Pokemon early, like, sick, you know? It's not just the exact same Pokemon over and over. Yeah, it's just Crystal Gen 2 in general, it just, if they had have just followed what they did in Gen 1, I think Crystal would have been a lot better. But they really like made a lot of encounters like super rare, and it's weird. It's weird going back to see Gen 1, and the mistakes of Gen 1 are more like bugs and stuff. I know like the pace, like the level scaling isn't great, but it's so much better than Crystal already. I am fighting Pokemon at my level. I am seeing Pokemon in the wild, and they're like a few levels under me. It's not that daunting. I'm like, yeah, I'll still catch it. Like it's not a big deal. Praise Lord Helix, baby. So, you know. Yeah, Bug and Ghost, already looking at it. So, I think it was Arrow or Izona who... Oh, I forgot about this. This is a fun little thing, Jesse and James. Oh, it's truly Rocket wants to fight. Not even Rockets. Rocket. Anyway, I think what I'm gonna do, and I think this was, I want to say Arrow, but maybe it was Izona. One of them. I'll give them both credit. Were suggesting that Nightshade just become a normal damaging move, and I think that is the play. I think you turn I think you turn Nightshade into a ghost move. That's tough. So nice. Yeah, so that's exactly what it is. So Nightshade basically becomes Gen 1 Shadow Ball. I think that is a way to fix ghosts. Right? So like 80 base power. I'm losing. I'll probably just use items because I went into this fight unhealed. I'm going to use Growl. I'm going to use Leer. Oh my god, the crit. All right, well, we have double kick. Why can't you make it like Seismic Toss? Nightshade is like Seismic Toss. But again, the only damaging ghost move in Gen 1 is Lick. If we want to make Ghost somewhat viable, I think we are going to lose without the help of items. So you're going to have to bear with me here. I didn't really go into this. Actually, I just didn't know. I kind of forgot I had this fight. Fortunately, we're a loser and we're going to use items. Sorry, guys. Anyway, we win. Oh, Dragon Rage, make it like Seismic Toss. That's actually worth considering. It would be a little bit better. But anyway, yeah, so you buff Lick. Lick is just not an 80 base power move, man. And that is just not a late game. Like, I refuse to do that. So, I don't know. Like, Nightshade is not that great. I think the play is you make Nightshade 80 base power, normal damaging move. That's your good ghost move. The other thing we've been talking about... Oh, and so also making Ghost actually super effective against Psychic. Because in this game, Ghost does not affect Psychic. And that's a glitch. It's not intentional. What does Ghost need an 80 base power move? I don't know. I mean that's a very valid question. Does Ghost need a strong move? I don't know. Do you want to use Ghost type moves? Hey, happy birthday. Yeah, Nightshade sucks. So here's my thing. Lick, 40 base power. The 40 base power Ghost. Bite becomes the 60 base power Ghost, and then Nightshade becomes the 80. Now, you could do Bite as the 80, but to me, Nightshade just feels like the cooler Ghost move. And then you just move Nightshade on like Gengar to a bit later. It's too high since Ghost has no real weakness outside of Psychic, so maybe 60 or 70. And I mean, maybe. Most of the good moves have, like, I don't know. Psychic is 90 damage, and Psychic has no weaknesses currently. So my idea with Bite, because I know it's a little finicky, I feel like we're going to get stomped in this fight. Like, I feel like this blue is actually pretty strong. My idea with Bite is have an NPC be like, it's thought that the move Bite is Ghost because it's super effective against Psychics and Ghost types. And so the idea behind that would be that, like, Bite is incorrect. Like, they don't know about the Dark type yet in Gen 1, and so Bite is incorrectly classified as Ghost. That's my bridge. You know what I mean? The other thing is Ghost. All three Ghost Pokemon have big teeth. So, I don't know. Bite actually, it kind of fits the Gengar line more than you'd think. Because, like, at first you're like, Bite, Ghost type. But if you look at all, like, Gengar's got some chompers on him, So, all right, we might lose this, but we'll see. I probably should have started with Pikachu. No, I am starting with Pikachu. No, I'm not. Wow, level 18. Is that his strongest Pokemon? Also, that's cool that he has Sparrow in this. So used to that Pidgeotto. Man, this game is crazy. Like, what? Level 8, like, how am I supposed to keep up with these levels? I almost feel like they're too high. Yeah, yellow is kind of nuts. It's almost too strong in my opinion. 18 seems high. Like, even with the use of rare candies, I am quite underleveled. And it's one thing to be late game underleveled because you have so much stat experience by that point, but like, this thing's going off. This thing could easily, okay, like, we got lucky, but like a 4-hit would have killed Pikachu. Gust is gonna be Gust is going to flying for sure. Haunter would evolve at 42. So we're going to do a lot of similarities to Legacy. So if it was a thing in Legacy, in Crystal Legacy, like, hopefully, like, we're going to try to make the games kind of similar in their own spaces. Now, that's going to vary because sometimes the games are just different enough that you got to, you know, you gotta balance it according to the game itself, but where you can, we'll try to keep things similar. So, like, we're gonna make Cut a bug type move again, like we did in Legacy Crystal. JRPGs in this area expect grinding. It's true, but we're not in this area anymore, and we can do whatever we want, you know, as it makes the game more fun. The Pikachu death is horrifying. All 151 available, definitely. I didn't realize how much people wanted that, but, like, also, okay, he just has a really high Sparrow. I would lower the level of that Sparrow. If I was elected president, I would make that Sparrow, like, level 15. It's also just tough because there's nothing you can do to, like, prepare. You know? Once you hop over that ledge, you're just here, and you can fight Misty or you can go fight Blue. It's kind of weird. One thing I hate about Gen 1 is you can't go back into Mount Moon. I don't know why that's a thing. Can anyone tell me the reason they did that? That might be like a very small map change I would make to this game. 18 Sparrow is a classic. Yeah, remove that stupid ledge. Raichu availability? Yeah, maybe a trade or something. Or maybe just like in Cerulean Cave. Does make it special when you can finally go back. Yeah, I just don't know if that is if the specialness of going back is worth it. I never understood why there isn't the option to go back. Like, I just, what's so wrong? What's so wrong about this? Like, I'm truly just making myself experience this to be like, what is I don't feel like this is bad for the game, you know? Even a cut tree? I think actually that would probably be fair. I always hated that as a kid. I was like, man, like, oh, I guess you can train here. Okay, you can train here before the blue fight. Okay, that's good. But anyway, yeah. I don't know, like, I have a million rare candies, but I just like free items, you know? Raichu and Cerulean Cave is perfect. Make them go back to Diglett Cave. Yeah, it probably is that. You know, and in those situations, it's like, well, we're all adults now. We can allow that for the player. You guys aren't. You're a little smarter than like the 5-year-olds that this game was made for. So I think a cut tree won't, you know, break the gaming experience for you. Where do I go? Yeah, I know I can get Bulbasaur. I'm actually gonna do a run with none of the starters. Seconding Raichu and Cerulean Cave. I gotta say that is growing on me. I do like that, and I do like Pikachu, man. Will you keep Mew as is or do something different? I feel like we gotta add a legit Mew fight, don't we? Which sucks because this code is so hard. Auto box changing. I gotta be honest, I agree. There are just a lot of limitations with this gen. So the way I'm generally handling Yellow is like mostly focused on the gameplay and the catching experience. We are gonna obviously add quality of life improvements in, but it's just gonna be like, what is the effort required to do this versus, you know, the actual thing. And it's like, if you know, is it gonna be a week straight of coding to add something like an auto box fix? Okay, in that case, no, you know, because it's just, that's a very small thing. If it's as easy as like, oh, it's already been done, or if it's just a few tweaks, then yeah. So I think generally, as far as the changes we're gonna make, it's gonna be very situational to like how much effort. And the reason I say that is because Yellow is a very different beast in terms of coding because it was the first game and it's very, very messy. Yeah, so as far as the starters go, talked about this a lot in the last chat. I really think that getting the starters is just integral to the Gen 1 experience, of the Yellow experience, I should say. So weird that that's not super effective. Is also, that's not very effective. Oh. See, that, I don't know if we could account for that. That is something I would like to fix in Gen 1. It says it's not very effective, but it's normally effective. Yeah. The game lies. So because one of its types are not very effective, it just says it's not very effective. The calculation is still right. So it's still calculating it like Pidgey is normal, that's super effective. Pidgey is flying, it resisted, it equals like normal damage, you know? Weird though, very weird. I don't know what the effort on that is. That would be a nice quality of life feature. Oh, thank you, Aaron. Okay, I got that wrong. The text is based on the primary typing. So the first type that it has. So because Pidgey is primarily, like its first type is flying, it bases it off of that. What a horrible feature, man. Like, oh my God. What a way to like mislead the children of the 90s. God. Ugh. That's kind of funny. It only checks the first type. Yeah, so I lost my sound. Anyway, I still lost my sound. I think removing the starters in this game and where they are, I think that's a step too far away from the core experience. I think if you want to play this game the original way it was the original way it was meant to be played was like there's not a lot of options on the routes, and you get Pikachu in those 4. Go ahead. I think if I remove that, there's going to be a lot of people that are like, man, that's not Yellow, you know? So I think the best way to handle this is just give the player more options to incentivize different teams. So what I want to do, I think, is add the same types, those three types of the starters in other Pokemon earlier in the game. So I think giving the player more options is the play. Does that make sense? Yeah, exactly. Why remove the starters? Basically, I'll just backtrack on my thought process was like, if you, my biggest issue with Pokemon Yellow is every single team that every single Elite Four, whatever, final, Hall of Fame team is Pikachu and the 3 starters, and usually a Snorlax, and it's like, that's boring. So at first I was like, well, is the way to fix that removing the starters? And I was like, no, because then that's not yellow. So I think the way to fix that is rather than remove options and you add options. So what I like is Route 2, that's the one above Viridian, Poliwag. So you add an earlier water type than Squirtle. That incentivizes, like, okay, if you want an early water type, there you go. If you want to wait for Squirtle, then, be my guest, because that's the game. We're thinking actually Bellsprout for Viridian Forest. Doesn't make sense that there's no grass types in there, especially right before the first gym. So that way we're adding in a water type and we're adding in a grass type, So you have a lot of options for Brock. And Brock will probably be a little bit more challenging. Like, we'll give Brock a rock move. Crazy, I know. But yeah, we'll give Brock an actual rock move. Paris, probably... Anyway, a grass type. I was originally thinking Oddish, but Oddish is available just north of Nugget Bridge. So I think Oddish is happy where it is. It doesn't need a move, a swap. And then Vulpix on Route 3. So that's the one, that long route heading towards Mount Moon. So you get the option of a fire, a water, and a grass that aren't the starters before you get access to the starters. And I think that alone makes it it doesn't remove the fact that you can get the starters. If you want to do the starters, you can hold out. But here's another option that's even earlier, And to me, I like that it gives some more options. I really want to give Vulpix a spot to shine in this game. Growlithe just outclasses it in every way. Houndour in Gen 2, even it's in Gen 3, it just doesn't, it's not, Also Poliwrath is really cool, and it doesn't really get a lot of love either. And it makes sense on a land route. That's like the water Pokemon you'd find on a land route. And then, whatever grass type. Grass types get a lot of representation, so. Yeah. Also, yeah. I don't remember what this guy has, so we're just going to go. Rock Throw. 95% accuracy. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Oh. Pushback availability on the Moonstones. Damn, son. I'm going to have to let Stuart take a hit here. I'll go for the Thunder Wave. I would say Rock Slide should stay 90. It's got that flinch chance, so it's pretty good. If it's not 100%, it's 50%. Wait. No, I'm sorry. I'm moving Rock Slow and Rock Slide to whatever it is in Crystal Legacy, but I think I'm wrong on that. Rock Throw's 100%, isn't it? And Rock Slide's 95. I think that's what we did. And whatever Crystal Legacy is, that's what we're doing. I think I was wrong. I don't know. Yeah, it would be really game changing. Generally, my philosophy, at least with Crystal, was don't remove where you can add instead. People don't like nerfs. People like getting more tools. So removing stuff is like, but that was the thing I did. That's like removing the Moonstone from Mount Moon is just like, I agree. Nidoking is so busted, but that is just the game we're playing. Yeah. And then we're going to add a thing that says you can play as Team Rocket. That'd be sick. I would love that. You just play this game up to here exactly the same, and then from here on out, you join Team Rocket. It's not that busted. No, you're right. It's not like game breaking. It's just really good. And for that reason, I don't want to change it. It is not Gengar all 3 punches good. You know? Or Alakazam all 3 punches good. Then you head over to Johto and take on the radio tower. That'd be cool. Yeah, more Pokemon for Team Rocket variation. Definitely. Yeah, you've got Horn Attack till mid-20s, but then you get Thrash. You can also teach it Mega Punch. It's a lot. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just, you know. Oh, the movesets are so limited. Also, that's annoying. But oh my god, they're so limited. It's ridiculous. This is fun though, guys. I'm really grateful we're chilling. Oh, this is I'll just take it because it's cool. It's really cool that you just get a starter. Like, what other game does that, you know? I don't want to take that away from people. That is so cool. Goddamn. I actually might have to use like, maybe I'd just use Charmander. I just don't know what other fire type I would use. I mean, it's like, what other fire types can you get? Never made sense that the Super Rod and Good Rod came at the same time. That's a really, really valid point. Yeah, the Good Rod should be like... Where's the Old Rod in this game? Every game gives you a starter. No, but listen. Sorry, I'm someone like I sometimes I speak way too vaguely, and like in my head I know what I mean, but like there's technicalities that it's not like particular, like it's not completely true. What I mean is that like it's really cool that you don't like you just get 3 starters outside of like your usual start of the game, go on your adventure, and here's, you know, here's one from the professor kind of thing. You know, it's like you just kind of pick 3 of them up along the way. Like that is, I don't know, that is unique. I don't think any other game just gives you 3 starters like that. All 3. So yeah, I just even think that like pickup of Charmander, like that felt so cool to me. I wouldn't want to remove that. I agree about the fishing comments. I'm going to just rip through here. Okay, I think we're good. We're getting a feel of this area. We don't need to fight every single Pokemon. What is this? Oh my god. Yeah. So bag expansion is a absolute must. Whirlwind. That is a bad TM. I guess Mega Punch should probably go on Mankey. Yeah, not sure about auto box switching. If it's easy, then sure, but if it's hard, then probably not. What do we got here? Seismic Toss. That would also be nice. Again, quality of life features are going to be a little more bare than Gen 1. Than Gen 2, just because, like I said, the code is really bad. But we're going to try our best. Oh, cool. Pikachu goes up. That's fun. I know, the fossil accessibility is kind of lame. Ha! Is that Pikachu reaction? That's so fun, man. Yellow's got some charm. I'll give it that. So I think what Yellow Legacy really is going to be is keeping true to what Yellow is, but adding in that red and blue feel of like Pokemon variety and better teams. I think that is kind of... Okay, cool. Fossil starter and Eevee in game corner. Where do you get Eevee in Yellow? Technically, you can get fossils with only 4 badges. Wait, is Surf? Right. That's actually not that bad, is it? Oh, but you have to skip Erica? Because isn't Surf... What gym actually gives you the allow... Okay, it's Koga that allows you to use Surf. Because you get Surf in the Safari... in Fuchsia. But... You know, so what I just said there, that's a thing that that annoys people. And I'm really bad at that. You know what I mean? Because, like, technically... You do get Surf in Fuchsia, but isn't it in the Safari Zone, or is it Strength in the Safari Zone? One of them's in the Safari Zone. I don't know. It's just a little weird thing I do. Yeah, if you spam potions on Pikachu, it raises its happiness to max. What does Pikachu's happiness actually do in this game? Surf in the Safari Zone. Yeah. So I would say Surf is in Fuchsia City because the Safari Zone is in Fuchsia City, you know, and people will say, no, you're wrong. It's in the Safari Zone. I just gloss over stuff. I think it's a strength of mine. I'm good at like skipping details, but when it comes to like in my brain, I can like do that and like kind of skip stuff. And I'm a really slow thinker, but I can do that kind of stuff I don't know. I'm kind of weird. But when it comes to then talking, it's really bad because I just gloss over details and I don't know. Anyway, enough about me. Fury Attack's going to be good now. Fury Attack is going to do 20 base, maybe. Oh, there we go. Just gives you happy fun time messages. Then I think you should be able to give potions as many as you want. Why would I remove the Warden's fake teeth? That would be so silly. All right, we'll give Charmander some love. Yeah, the yellow sprites are very manageable. Like, if you've ever seen the green sprites, oh my god. That's a good Charmeleon sprite. Pokemon. I would consider taking, I know there's a lot of artists that have done reworked of Gen 1 sprites to like kind of match like modern art. And they're really good. And I would consider that. I don't know if that would be going too far against it. Some of the sprites are still like, that doesn't feel like the Pokemon I know and love. Can we actually look at some sprites before we go to this fight? What am I looking for here? So red and green sprites. Like Venusaur looks smushed. Blastoise looks sick, actually, to be fair. That is better than the other Blastoise sprites. Let me see here. Red and blue sprites. Yellow sprites. Let's see here. So, Blastoise red sprite is bad. I don't like that at all. I don't really like Blastoise yellow sprite either, to be honest. I think, to me, that is That is like the most accurate Blastoise sprite. This is red and green, so like how this became the most popular Pokemon ever, I have no idea. That is horrific. Little bit better. You know, actually the whole Charmander line got a lot better in red and blue. Yellow? Oh man. They're pretty good. I just don't like that Blastoise. I think I hate both of them. This is the only good Blastoise sprite to me. Venusaur looks pretty good in red and blue. Both are fine, I would say. I think Ivysaur's done a little bit better. I think Bulbasaur is... I like the thing is like I know what Bulbasaur looks like, so I'm like, oh, that's a cool animation, but it's not great. In general, though, these sprites are much better. You don't have any of the horrors of, you know, like, good God, even the red and blue ones, like Golbat, you know, is a classic. Parasect looks... Actually, Parasect looks kind of unique. Oh my God, dude. I forgot how bad Poliwrath looks. There's not a single trainer in the entirety of red and blue that has a Poliwrath, so you never actually see this Pokemon, fortunately. Holy God, dude. Machop is like... I want it to die. Like, it makes me mad looking at it. Geodude is weird. Golem looks awful, you know? This is rough. Red and blue is rough. You move on to yellow, and it's like, okay, these are neat. Like, there's some charm to these sprites, you know? Like, the Machop line gets fixed up. The tentacles look a lot better. Golem, like, that's a great Geodude sprite. Graveler looks better than it does in Gen 2. I think there's a lot of charm. Man, dude, Ghastly line looks great. A lot of charm. Dude, Electrode is like so bad, I almost like it. Hitmonlee is sick. Hitmonlee is gnarly, bro. That is awesome. One of the Hitmonchan, there's like a weird... It looks like a Doduo somehow, taking a crap or something. I don't know how you look at that. Let me just try to find it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the OG Hitmonchan sprite looks like a Togekiss hiding behind a Totodile. That's really funny. That is really great. Anyway, so yeah, I quite like the yellow sprites. They're at the cusp of being fine. I would actually say the Mewtwo is a step back. I don't really like that Mewtwo sprite. I think like, the red and blue Mewtwo sprite is not, like, it's not super close to modern Mewtwo. Like, it's so hunched. But this is, to me, this is a very iconic sprite. I really do like red and blue Mewtwo. I don't know what the green Mewtwo sprite is like. Honestly, man, that's like the best one, if I can be honest. Like, that's unique. It's just in a unique position, I guess. I don't like it with its, like, hips forward. I think that looks kind of weird. Mew's cool. I don't like the coloring of Mew, but it's cool. Red and blue Mew's cool. Bro, green Mew is, like, also I want it to die. Bro, Snorlax. Oh, man, there's some crazy red sprites. Moltres is bad. What about the other birds? Bro, Moltres is still... Bro, Moltres just... They couldn't find it. Like, this is bad, but then it gets worse. Now it just looks like a bird. You know, at least you can tell that it's fiery. Now it's just a bird. And then red, they kind of finally got it. Articuno. I don't really love any of the Articuno sprites. Zapdos is just good. Zapdos is better in this. I don't think it's that I like its I don't like its positioning. It looks weird. Like, I can tell what Zapdos is more from the earlier ones. But I think this is just better. The Gen 2 Zapdos sprite is bomb. Gen 2 Zapdos is like a top 5 sprite of all time for me. That right there is, oh dang it. Anyway, you can see it, like, really cool Gen 2 sprite. Anyway, sorry, we'll get back to the game now. A little distracted, but anyway. We ready? Let's see what this team can do against Misty. Because, you know, ultimately, like, if you're like, oh, he's losing, I don't like this. A lot of this is kind of just trying to feel how hard these fights are. If you don't hit Hypno to Sabrina's team, I'll cause terrible things to happen in this world. We're on the same page. I think we can remove Sabrina's Abra and Kadabra and be pretty happy. I feel like Fury Attack is awful. As soon as I use it, I'm like, nah, this move sucks. If it does 5, it's good. But it very low chances to do 5. You're because it will miss, you're almost better to just always peck. Hypno, normal, psychic. I don't think there'll be any Gen 1 type changes. We didn't do any in Crystal. Emerald is going to see 1. And that is the Sceptile line. We're going to probably make Sceptile Dragon. The other 2 starters are just so sick. And Sceptile is just so undercooked. It's really sad. But generally, in almost every situation, I'm like, don't change the types. Because that just takes... Man, I should have gone Thunder Wave here. AI... Gen 1 AI doing Gen 1 AI stuff. Don't mind if I do. I would really like a Pure Rock Onix. I will be honest. That is like... If there was one Pokemon I was going to change its type in the whole game, I would actually probably do Onix. So... We'll come back to that. Yeah, I think Onix is going to get buffs, and in those buffs, we'll also add more Pokemon in the early game, because otherwise the Brock fight would be too hard. So this is a situation where I really like having Mega Punch. Like, it's risky, but I'd like to get some big damage, and it's not even big damage. It's like I have to use this move. I kind of have to go for a Leer here. Yeah, I really wish Gen 1 had just set the precedent of Onix being Rock. So that is a change I would make. I think it makes Onix a lot more potentially viable. If it's the only Rock type that doesn't have those 4x weaknesses, that's kind of unique, you know? Or just the only Rock type that doesn't have 4 times weaknesses, not even those ones. Yeah, so I mean, Misty is being notoriously hard. That's nothing new. Misty's always been pretty hard. Just crit fish. Yeah, I guess that would have been a good idea. I was just thinking that it resists it. Or wait, oh, Karate Chop is the critting move. Oh, I see. That's going to be hard to balance. Because I made Karate Chop fighting. Bro, this thing is bulky. Sure, I'm glad it doesn't ever cover. Yeah, also, this could have been a Nidoking. I just chose not to evolve it. The only pure rock type in general. Well, you've got Sudowoodo in Gen 2. You got Nose Pass. Make Comet Punch fighting. Honestly, that is actually a really worthy consideration. I had not thought about that, but thank you. In general, like with Crystal, we only changed the typing of 2 moves. It was Cut to Bug and Spike Cannon to Steel. There might have been one more move to Steel. But anyway, that was pretty much it. I'm open to doing a few more move changes. Like, you know, we just need some, like, there's no dragon moves, for example. Azona recommended Slam actually become as a dragon move because the description is slams the opponent with its tail. And the Dragonair line learns that the set of moves already. So like a slam buff in accuracy or something. And, you know, that's something I think might be worth it. This is Officer Jetty, man. That's so cool. I actually don't know what to do here. Yeah, and there are a lot of Pokemon that learn Slam, so we'd have to do some changing about. But very easy to just change Slam for like Headbutt or something. Oh, is this the girl with the Bulbasaur? Oh. I thought that was a Pokeball. It's her Electrode. Go to Bill. Oh, is that after this? Interesting. What? Slam is Pog? Oh, I gotta drop an item. Okay. I'm not gonna pick up Bulbasaur. I don't want to run all the starters. There we go. I see. I was like, why didn't that work the first time? But I just was full, and I don't read. So yeah, Razor wins the other move. Flying is actually pretty fine. So I was thinking about, like, what if you made it? What if you made Razor win Dragon? Thing with Dragon is you can't think of Dragon like modern games. Dragon is meant to be this super niche, no one has it type. It's featured in one fight in the game. So I think Dragon doesn't need a lot of love. Like, it's not like, oh, we got to give Dragon a bunch of moves. Literally, like, 80 or 90 base power, 100% accuracy, Slam for Dragonair and Dragonite on Lance's team. That's... You know, that's doing a lot right there. Freeze is broken. So... Twister? Twister... may or may not be in this game. I don't think there's a Twister in this game. I'm pretty sure there's no Twister. And even if it was, it's definitely not Dragon. Because Gen 1 is notorious for having a single Dragon type move, and it's Dragon Rage, which is a set 40 base power move. That's the other thing. Dragon Rage could become a normal, just a normal damaging dragon move. I actually hadn't thought about that. Damn. I hadn't thought about that. Dragon Rage could be like the like 90 base power dragon move, and Slam could just stay at like it's 70. I hadn't really thought about that, because Dragon Rage is like the worst move in the Pokemon series. It's either way too overpowered or really bad. Like there's a very small portion of the game where Pokemon have like 120 roughly HP where it feels balanced, and outside of that, like between 80 to 120 HP, Dragon Rage feels good, and every other spot it's either too good or too bad. Yeah, like level 20 to 30, and outside of that, it's just like really unbalanced because it sucks once it's a 4-shot. So I don't think I want Poison Sting, right? Yeah, I've seen the thought about Thrash becoming. Oh god, I have too many items. One sec. I've seen the idea Thrash becoming Outrage, but Thrash is actually a very used move. Like a lot of people use Thrash on Nidoking. Nidoking gets it pretty early, and it's a really good move for it. So I just think that, I don't know, there's a lot of situations where you would really miss Thrash, and sorry. I guess what I'm saying is like a dragon type Thrash would not be used very much. It would be used for like literally one fight. Whereas you really, really need all like Thrash is going to be used a lot more often. So that it's just not that worthwhile trade. And again, you know, ultimately all these changes is like, well, is it worth it? Like, you know, because there's a lot of times where it's like, yeah, just try to leave it as similar as you can. Anyway, hopefully that makes sense. Changing how the box system functions. It's probably one of the more complicated things. Gen 1, a lot of people have been asking about that this stream. So I don't think it's not a priority. And as I said earlier, you kind of just got to look at the cost, like the risk, the just noticed that. Hey, there we go. Like what's the payoff to how much effort it takes? And I think the box is, well, it's not ideal. I have a suspicion that the boxes would be really complicated to fix, and I think our time could be spent, you know, if that's going to take a lot of coding effort. It's a pretty small thing, you know. It's not that bad versus like, do you want to, you know, you got so many resources. It's like, what do you want to focus on? It's just like a consideration, I guess, is like how I'm trying to think about it. I think you'd encounter missing already. I found them. Razorwind 120 and Dragon Diet. I mean, if you did Dragon Rage to a normal just Dragon move, Razorwind, maybe Slam, I think Dragon would be in a really good spot. Like that would be better than it needs to be. It doesn't even need that. Dragon literally needs like a 90 base power move, and it's fine because there's one fight that uses dragon types in the game, you know? Oh, yeah, Aaron. I definitely think it's worth it to take advantage of Waterfall. It's a pretty cool move. It acts as a really nice move before Surf because it's 80 base power. What I love about Waterfall is like Surf dominates the water types. Everything that's water type gets Surf. Even if you have really bad special attack, you're just giving everything Surf because it's a really strong move and it's really early. What's really cool about Waterfall is it's like something you can kind of gift certain Pokemon to be like, everything gets Surf, but give Goldeen early Waterfall. Like we did that in Crystal Legacy because you can get a Goldeen pretty early, and that's neat to me because it's like, like this level 15 Pokemon that doesn't have Surf yet. Here's like a very unique kind of niche move that's like an early power move that isn't outclassed by Surf right away. So Waterfall is a very like interesting tool. There's the Squirtle. So anyway, that's just a little thought. No, Hydro Pump isn't the same as Surf. The thing with Surf is it's an HM. So people often ask, well, will you make TMs like infinite use? And I really don't like that because it kind of breaks the game. Give everything Earthquake, give everything Flamethrower, it's just like, it's kind of boring. It's the Surf effect, Fortunately, in this game, the only move that gets that treatment really is like Surf, and I guess Strength, because Strength's a pretty good move, but being normal type, it's at least a little balanced. So for me, it's I don't want to just let every Pokemon get all the good moves. I want there to be like a bit of a trade-off, It's like you got Ice Beam. Who are you going to give it to? This is a really good move. Like it shouldn't be just free to give everyone. But on that same note, I don't like that you never get another one in the entire game. I think that's really stupid. So what I like is when you first get it, it's limited because it's a power spike, right? But as that move starts to not be a power spike and ends up kind of like starts to just become the normal move that everything has, like Thunderbolt after Surge, really good. But by Elite Four, every electric type is probably going to be using Thunderbolt. So like by Elite Four, make that TM like purchasable so that you can get it infinitely. But have that limited amount for a bit when it's really good. I think that is the happy medium for TMs. Yeah, give Gyarados Waterfall on Evolution. Great idea. Can't disagree with that. I would actually consider a lot of TMs for purchasable before the Elite Four, because the Elite Four really is the end of this game. Obviously, we got to add in that Professor Oak fight. Obviously, we got to add in the Professor Oak fight. I mean, like, that would be... Come on. We're going to do that. But other than that, like, I think... I don't know. There's just not a lot after you beat the E4. It's just catch Mewtwo. So I think like if you maybe did a lot of the TMs purchasable for the Elite Four, maybe all of them, I think that would probably be fair. Something about the daycare man that prevents putting the free Magikarp. Listen, that's just a feature of the game. Like I said, I'm not really looking to like nerf. I'm looking to like add, I think that's one thing that Crystal Legacy did really right, is the only nerfs in the whole game were Gengar and Alakazam losing 2 of the 3 elemental punches. That's the only nerf in the whole game. Everything else was buffs. So you buff the Pokemon, so you give the player more tools, and you make the trainers harder. I think that is like always the way. More tools for greater challenges. Way more fun than nerfing. Never nerf when you can just buff both sides of it. I think it always makes it more fun. So. Kind of weird. Rub. You know, it's he's just, honestly, it's not that weird, but it feels weird. I don't know. I don't know. I had an extra rub. Yeah, like it's a kid's game. He's just rubbing his back, but I don't know. I just think getting a rub from a child you don't know is weird. Like, if your nephew or like niece is like, you know, you're playing with a child in your family and you know them and they like jokingly give you a back rub, that is a context where it's not weird, you know? Or you have a child, your own child gives you a back rub and they're, you know, oh, like whatever. Not weird. There is just no situation where a random child giving you a back rub is not weird. I'm sorry. I'll sit on that. I'll die on that hill. It's weird. It's weird. Post game on the SSN with strong trainers. That's a cool thought. I don't know if rubbing a back with CC. Yeah. What if he gives them ginger tablets? It might not be weird in Japan though. Super valid. Also, to be fair, Red is being a homie. Pretty sick of Red, you know? Maybe he's just cool like that. You guys want to cheat? I'm just really curious to see what happens here. Oh. Whoa. Cool. They don't have the same taboos. Yeah, and that's probably it, you know? Oh my god. It's coming down. Yeah, so cut would become probably a critting move. 55 base power. So the Razor Leaf of bug type moves. I think that does a lot for keeping psychics tame. I think Dig needs to be nerfed. I'm talking about nerfing things. I think 100 base power this early, 100% accuracy move is too strong. Considering everything I said, I do think Dig is too strong. I think Dig should be probably 70. Buff Mega Drain, already did it. I moved Absorb to 30, Mega Drain to 60. It might need more. But that's what I did so far. I'm open to maybe a little bit more. Yeah, Earthquake 2. Also, I said this last stream. The fact that there are 4 ground moves in this game and 2 are dedicated to the Cubone line is, I don't know why Cubone got so much love, but it's like, dude, you got 2 ground moves. You got Dig and Earthquake. We could have used like another ground move that isn't exclusive to like Bone Meringue and Bone Club, you know? That Bone Club, it's like a 65 power move. Would have been a great early, you know? Oh, the dodge. Let's go, Mankey. Oh. Yeah, I already buffed. So I buffed Bone Club because it's 65 damage. The thing with Bone Meringue is it's 100 base power learned at like level 26. So level 26 Earthquake, I think does need a check, and I think the appropriate check is leaving it at 90% accuracy. It's fun to talk about this. I've learned a lot about like balancing, so I'm like, it's like exciting for me. Basically, like I think the thing with this, I guess this is kind of like game design. It's in a lot of ways not, because it's, you know, a remix. This is remixing a game, but what's really cool is the way everything interacts in a game to me. So like you touch one thing, you pull one lever, but that lever is connected to so many other things. So like you kind of have to balance that stuff. I don't know. It's cool. Oh, you know what, N8-bit? That's a really good point. Yeah, so saying that like Marowak is a boss in the tower. I think that's pretty valid actually. I think that's enough for me for them to have 2 signature moves is still a lot. I think Bone Club should just not have existed and been I don't know, like a magnitude or something, and not even like a unique magnitude, like literally just like 60 base power always magnitude or something. I think that would have been fine, and then give Marowak Bone Morag. I probably would have been better, but yeah. I would consider removing this puzzle. So there's like a chance that the switch is just sometimes in that left corner, even if I don't know, it's weird. It's just bugged basically. So yeah, there's like a chance that even if you find it over here, it's always it's supposed to be next. The switches are supposed to be next to each other, but there's a chance that it's just always up in this top left corner. Suppose if we really needed, like, I don't know if I particularly want to do this, but you could make Sand Attack a damaging move, make it the Mud Slap of this gen. I don't think I would do that. I think Ground type is just, it's in a fine spot. Like, it's kind of niche. There's not a lot of access to it. It's really good. I think that's fine. But yeah, more switches. Best puzzle. Okay, so people like it. See, I like to hear that. Like, I want to know what people think of it. I feel like generally these trainers are really good, man. I don't. Oh, this guy only has 1 Pokemon in this, so it's kind of awkward, isn't it? I would definitely give Misty a Psyduck. Feel like, oops, I didn't mean to do that, but whatever. I didn't need it that bad. Yeah, thank you. It's not really a puzzle. It's not really a puzzle. I don't know. Again, the code in this game is hard, so I don't know. Can you give Lance his Gen 2 team? Man, I would... I kind of think Lance needs reworks. I think you got to take away the Dragonairs. They're just their base stats are too low to be threatening. You can't give him a Charizard because the rivals might have a Charizard, and that takes away a lot. God damn, level 28. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? This thing's gonna be fast. It's gonna have a high crit chance. I think we just lost this fight. Yeah, it's his only Pokemon. I will say it's very unique, but I kind of hate this. Like, one really strong Pokemon. Bro, this thing is fucked. Because the thing with this Raichu is it is literally it is the same or higher level than Erica. If you evolve to Nidoking, you win. That's a good point. I don't know. I think I'd rather just give Surge like a actual team. Yeah, and it is meant to reflect the anime, but It's the only gym that does, I'm pretty sure. Oh, this is, man. This is so thematically sick, though. Pikachu taking out the Raichu. That's cool. One below Erica. Is Erica 29 in this? Because she loses her final Evos. Secret battle against the NPC with the team of SmithPlays Pokemon. Man. There is not a lot of, like, fan servicey shit I would want to do with this game. Yeah. But that would be really cool. That would be a fun ass Easter egg to add into Legacy Yellow. So I don't know how you do that, but anyway, that's a cool idea. I think I probably want to make Surge more of a balanced leader. So I think I'd rather just reduce some of his team. Yeah, just get a 10% Doug Trio and Cheese Surge if he doesn't have a full team. At least with a team you can struggle. Yeah. Yeah, I'll absolutely keep the Raichu, but just add some other stuff. Yeah, that'd be really cool. All right, guys. Supper time is approaching, so I'm going to call the stream there, but I want to say thank you everyone for coming out. I don't think we had any... I'm just going to make sure... Last time I streamed, I missed a bunch of super chats, and I felt bad about it. No, we're good. Yeah, we're good. Cool. So, yeah. Thanks for coming. It's good to just talk and bounce ideas off each other. This is good for me. Yeah. Oh, show the Scyther out. Sure. While we're here. This is the Scyther out. I don't know. To me, I just see Scyther here. This just gives Scyther energy. It's also green, so it's kind of perfect. And even outside of that, it feels like a place a Scyther would be. So yeah. 24 years ago. It's an old game. SmithPlays Pokemon boss after you Mewtwo. That would be cool, actually. Actually, before we finish, just on the note of Lance team changes, what would I do to change Lance? 2 Dragonites? That would be in line with Legacy. 2 Dragonites, an Aerodactyl, Gyarados, and a Zapdos. No. Absolutely no to Arbok. I hate that. I'm sorry. No hate, but that a lot of people are like, so give Lance an Arbok. And I think Arbok is so bad. Like, there's the connotation of Arbok is like, this is a lame Pokemon. Team Rocket used this. This is non-threatening. Lance needs to have, like, the appearance to. I wouldn't give Lance a Charizard. So maybe you just give him 3 Dragonites. 3 Dragonites, a Gyarados, and an Aerodactyl. Absolutely, like Charizard is such an absolute no. Like 6 Dragonites. Yeah, you just can't. Like, the rival has a Charizard. Like, that would be so lame if he also had a Charizard. Oh my god! Oh! This is Pokemon Yellow! We can do whatever we want! Thank you! I'm so stupid! I'm so stupid, chat, and you are so smart! God damn it, I'm dumb. Sometimes. This isn't red and blue. This is yellow. He has an evolution. He has an evolution! Oh, chat! Thank you. All right, let's give Lance a Charizard. That's pretty easy. Let's give Lance a Charizard then. No. Okay, I think 2 Dragonites, Aerodactyl, Charizard, Gyarados. I like that. Because remember, it has to be a 5. It's a team of 5. This is not a champion fight. This is Elite 4. So... So basically, it's his Crystal Legacy team. Because I kind of like it. I kind of like it connecting. You know, I kind of like the Crystal Legacy connection. Like, I think that would be fun. Oh, so yeah, swap Dragon to physical, Ghost to special. I think that's probably gonna happen. The only Ghost in this game is a special attacker, so why make Ghost physical? Yeah. This is your legacy trio. Yeah, so I actually think that would be really neat. Now that you mention that, that would be really cool. Oh my God, guys, thank you. I'm so used to red and blue. I forgot the Rivals champion team is different in this game. And the only wow, that's so perfect, right? The only dragon type in this game is a physical attacker, and dragon is special, and the only ghost type in this game is a special attacker, and ghost is physical. So I think the swap is easy. And people are already familiar with ghost being special in Crystal Legacy, so that's good. The reason we didn't do dragon to physical in Gen 2 is because then there would be an uneven amount of physical and special types. So we wanted to keep that balanced. But in this game, it would just be swapping the two, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, and then just add some dragon moves. So what is Pokemon Yellow? Okay. If Eevee evolved into Vaporeon. So that is I think it's basically if you win 2 fights, if you lose 2 fights, or if you win one and lose one in the first like the first 2 fights is basically how it's determined, which is really cool. I like that there's like a weird thing with it. I gotta be honest. Can I be real? I kind of don't like Blue's yellow teams. To me, there are some Pokemon that are very tied to Blue, and a lot of what I'm seeing on here aren't them. I like the Eevee thing. I think that's cool. I would obviously keep the Eevee. Everything other than Alakazam and Exeggutor just don't feel like Blue to me. I don't know how chat feels about that, but personally, like, whenever I play this game, it always felt like weird. Like, yeah, Sandslash is bad. Like, give this guy an Arcanine, you know? I do like Ninetales, but like, no, Blue has an Arcanine. Blue has a Gyarados. Blue has an Exeggutor. Blue has an Alakazam. Blue has a Rhydon, you know? I don't know. I might actually want to revert the teams. I just don't. I think what you see here is less interesting. That's what I'll say. Yeah, like RB Blue plus Eevee. That'd be cool. You could also get spicy with it. You know, give him a Tauros. Someone just said that. I love that. But just to... What is Blue's champion team? Just for comparison's sake. So his Charizard team. Yeah, like Gyarados, Exeggutor, Rhydon, Alakazam. I'm looking at the wrong game, but yeah, Alakazam, Rhydon, Gyarados, Arcanine. Those are just like those 4. And Exeggutor. So Gyarados, Arcanine, Exeggutor, Alakazam, Rhydon, those to me are like so integral to Blue, and I just think it doesn't really hit the mark. Yeah, it is supposed to be Gary's team. What is Gary's? But again, we're not trying to make this anime. That's the thing with Yellow, is this version of Yellow is going to kind of merge anime and Red and Blue elements, because I think Red and Blue is overall a better game. I like that. I don't really like some of the anime beats, but I do think some of it's good. Like, I love that you get the Pikachu. I like that you get the starters. I don't really like Blue's change in team. So, what is Gary Oak's team? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. It's also weird how he kind of ditches some of his Pokemon. I guess that's not that weird, but because he does start with a Pharaoh. Oh, okay. Most of it's pretty similar. These teams are weird, man. Like, I don't know. Now that I think about that SSN fight, like, it's kind of a weird team. like 2 purely normal types, another half normal type, and a ground type with normal moves. It's kind of a, I don't know. The legend that you literally killed Blue's Raticate, it's just that. It's a legend. Give him a Gyarados so you could remove the Magikarp the man sells you by implying he bought it. That's cool. That's actually a neat idea. Oh, he also just gets an Alakazam out of nowhere. Oh, yeah. Oh, he gets a Kadabra. It is a Kadabra. It's only Alakazam in the final, which is fair. Yeah, and you know, a lot of people say, well, like, in the manga, and it's like, yeah, like, I don't mind taking inspiration from the manga if it's good, but like, I don't know. I'd rather just do what feels good, you know, than like just follow anything. I don't know. Oh yeah, 45 execute. Listen, what I'm saying, the rival needs work. We'll talk. It is yellow. This is the yellow team. I don't know. I felt like Crystal Legacy was better reworking Silver's team. I think this team is probably gonna do some revisions. It'll be. I think I would like a blend. You've got the Eevee line and then more of the red and blue team. To me, that feels cooler. But anyway, guys, I'm going to call it there. So, give Bruno a pincer. Man, you guys just keep hitting me with good ideas. Yeah. I would like to have a bit of consistency between Crystal Legacy and Yellow Legacy. So, like, you know, look at what's Koga's Elite Four team in Crystal Legacy. Okay, let's try to give him at least those Pokemon that exist in this game. And, you know, same for Bruno. Anyway. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. I'm going to take off, but I'll see you later. Peace.